A couple of months ago, I made a video called Did Pokemon Cards Just Peak? And in that video, I discussed a few different topics. Namely, that I felt like at about that point in time, that Pokemon cards were starting to become a lot less interesting for people. And since then, you know, the prices of single cards, sealed boxes, slabbed cards, literally everything has started to drop. And in the video, I talked about how that was something that was going to start to happen. If I didn't speak about that in the video, then this video is going to sound kind of stupid and I'm going to sound kind of stupid. But I'm pretty sure in that video, I talked about all that stuff. By the way, while we're here, do please feel free to like, subscribe, leave a comment. Let me know if you think I'm an idiot. It all helps the channel, whether it's good or bad. Yoroshiku onegaishimasu. Now, back to this. I did make a video talking about whether Pokemon cards had peaked at about that point in time. And I still do believe that around about that point in time, could I say time anymore? That they did peak. And now that VMAX Climax has dropped, by the way, I'm going to open up a box of VMAX Climax while I talk about this today because I do love this set. It's the 10th box from my case. A case has 20 boxes. I think, you know, VMAX Climax has really signaled, that's my favorite word for the day, the peak of Pokemon cards for 2021. And I really do wonder where we are going to go from here because, you know, a lot happened last year. We had some of the best cards, some of the best illustrations, the most concise sets. Like it was all happening. It was all happening in 2021. And it's hard to see like if we're going to top it this year, if in 2022. It's hard to see if we're going to top it this year because I don't know how you can. We actually had some of the best sets ever, and it wrapped up with VMAX Climax. I do think this is the best set to have released, not just in 2021, but in the last 2-3 years. It's right up there with GX Tag All-Stars, which is one of my favorite sets. But I'm talking stuff like, you know, scope, artists, size of sets. Like sets got bigger than ever before, not just English sets, Japanese sets too. You know, it's just makes me curious. Are things going to remain the same way? Are we going to see sets that are as big as the sets that came out last year? Or are things going to start to scale down? Because if they start to scale down, is the interest still going to be there? Is the money still going to be there? Because money drives, good card, by the way, Umbreon V. Money, oh wait, I totally forgot there's CHRs in this set. That is a lovely one to find. This is the Dedenne character rare, and I love finding, I mean, I wanted to find, there's certain character rares I want to find multiples of, and this is definitely one of them because it is so bloody vibrant. This one is by Kurumitsu. And on that topic, or I guess while we're talking about an artist like Kurumitsu, this is a new artist to the TCG, and VMAX Climax saw a lot of new artists get introduced in a year where a lot of different artists were commissioned to draw Pokemon cards for the TCG. So I'm thinking like, well, okay, on one hand, it feels like that was the peak. You know, what we saw is going to be the absolute peak. On the other hand, VMAX Climax introduced a lot of new artists. There were a lot of new artists that saw Pokemon cards that had basically commissions for the first time ever. So it peaked and we had more than ever, but the trend looks like it's continuing. But, you know, even if the scope does remain huge, what's going to happen if the interest isn't there? Because a lot of what I was talking about in that video last year had to do with interest waning. And interest can wane for a few reasons. You know, sometimes the trend just becomes unpopular and then people aren't interested anymore and they move on to something else. That's one reason why something can become unpopular or, you know, becomes lame. There's controversy. Now, Pokemon, you know, it's still going strong. There's never any controversy with Pokemon. I don't think it's become lame by any means at all. But, hey, this is what I mean. You know, this is just one of the many fantastic cards out of this set. And it's one that you want to find. It's Rayquaza VMAX. Oh, lordy. Oh, lordy, oh, lordy, oh, lordy. They gave me every time by Hideki Ishikawa with Zinnia there. It's the Ray. It's one of the Chase CSRs. And I just keep getting very, very close to that master set. I mean, if I keep finding cards like this, like, I think the only CSR now that I'd like to pull so I can avoid buying it is Umbreon VMAX CSR. So if I can find the Umbreon, I'm pretty much there. I need to find a Gloria. Gloria is the most expensive card out of the set. The full art by Naoki Saito. Have we got a character right behind it? Hey, we do. What a lovely. This is a nice box. Oh, where do I put these cards? That is a card that I've been wanting to find for a while. That's the first Flareon that I've pulled. oh, about time. I actually bought a bunch of these when they were about $1, $2 each, because that was just a no-brainer. I mean, I'm thinking long-term, you know. I am primarily a collector, but you'd be silly in this day and age to not be buying cards like this with, you know, 2030 in mind. It's safe and it's easy, you know. When cards like this one's by your Eevee, you know, it's an iconic Pokemon. It's Flareon with an iconic trainer. You would be very silly not to buy them. I think if you got money to spare, and let's be serious, if you're a Pokemon card collector, you are using what's the word for it? Pleasure money. I'm gonna go with pleasure money. I'm pretty sure there's a term for it. Pleasure money. You're using your pleasure money on. There's a better word for it, isn't there? I'm going to stay with pleasure money. If you're using your pleasure money to buy Pokemon cards already, well, you might as well, you know, rather than buy something like a build and battle box or an English ETB, like you're better off buying 60 cards like that. Really, you are. Because the chance that those 60 cards at $2 become worth $10 is much greater than the chance of an ETB being worth, what's the math, like 5 times. It just is like that. Where's my science behind it? I don't know. It's just experience in the hobby. I'm going to go with. Okay, back to the topic. Has it peaked? Okay, well, if the interest goes, right, the money goes. When we are talking about money there. So, and if you notice there, I did say 2030, and I'm thinking that far ahead because I think the interest is going to start to wane, and it already has. As a Pokemon card content creator here on this channel, I can tell you that it's just stuff like how many people watch your videos, and maybe I've become boring. Maybe I'm stale, moldy bread, and maybe I'm just not interesting anymore. But the amount of people that watch your videos is a very, very strong indicator to see whether the audience is still out there. Because if people aren't watching your videos, you either become boring, and I don't think I'm that boring yet, or people aren't watching them anymore because they're not interested anymore. So from that perspective, I can share that perspective with you, and I'm pretty candid with this shit. I don't really keep secrets when it comes to that. I can tell you that it's starting to slow down a little bit, and if it starts to slow down there, well, then the money will go, and then when the money goes, there's another audience or there's another group of people that collect or engage with Pokemon cards that will go with it. They'll actually just go to the next thing where the money's at. And what's it going to be? Is it going to be another trading card? I doubt it. I think trading cards have maybe had their moment in the sun for a little while. But the important thing is to remember that this is all, you know, natural, and it's all swings and roundabouts. There's peaks and there's troughs, and that's just how it works. It's how the whole thing sustains itself. Because if it is always just the good times, then, you know, everybody's a winner and no one's a loser. But this is a zero-sum game. You got to have losers to have winners. Do I think, okay, so basically when that happens, right, how do you regain interest if you're the Pokemon company? Well, you do better and bigger things. And that's why I was talking about artists. Like, there's more artists that have been commissioned, new artists, first-time artists that have been commissioned for the TCG. So that's one way of doing it, commissioning new artists to keep things fresh. It's also important to keep commissioning existing artists that are fan favorites, because then you might draw the ire, and it's unlikely that people would get annoyed, but maybe more disappoint. Hey, the Malamar, this is a nice one to find too. You might disappoint your longtime fans, and that might push people away, push them away, right? But let's be serious. Pokemon fans are some of the most sturdy, reliable, I guess, long-standing in the community. Like, if you're a Pokemon fan from the 90s, it's a pretty good chance you're still a Pokemon fan now. So, you know, if the Pokemon company and creatures decide to rest on their laurels, well, then they'll lose the interest of people. So on one hand, you're getting all these new artists commissioned and we're seeing fantastic cards. On the other hand, is it going to be enough to sustain interest? Like, is this momentum, are you able to hold on to this momentum? Are you able to continue to grow from it by doing the same thing? In my opinion, to keep interest, right, it's very important to do different things and keep things engaging. So while doing a trainer, no way. Are you kidding? What? 2. I've already found one. I'd already found a trainer. Are you kidding me? There's no way. That's Gloria. That's a trade for Gloria. Are you kidding me? I'd already found one. I got 2. Oh boy, if they keep putting cards like this in the set, I mean, I'm going to keep coming back every single time. This is the Galar friends, and I found a second one. What an the absolute audacity of me to find a second one. Unbelievable. I I like, it still does surprise me. I open up a lot of cards on the channel and over at Twitch, but this still just shocks me every single time. And I'm definitely, it elates me. Like I'm spending the day happy. Look at the texture on this thing. Oh, what an awesome card. Have we got any print lines? Let's zoom. Let's enhance. Jarvis, enhance. All right, have we got anything? It doesn't look like we've really got any major print lines. This could be better than the first one I pulled. This is actually really clean. Hey, I'm sure if you can see a print line, just tell me. I can't see any. This looks perfect. I reckon this is a perfect card. This is absolutely perfect. That is flawless. I reckon that is completely flawless. From my naked eye, maybe the camera's going to do a little bit better. That is flawless. Holy crap. Holy crap. Another character rare. Unbelievable. I mean, this is why I think it's peak. Does it get any better than this? Does the set get any better than this? Like, do sets get any better than this? Oh my God, I can't even get it into a sleeve. I'm literally shaking. Like, can they? I don't know. If they can make things, if they can keep this kind of intensity up and just keep people interested with stuff like this, with cards like this, with just crazy, like, oh my God, an amazing CSR and a train of full art, not to mention, I reckon that's better than Gloria. Like, maybe interest won't wane. Can you do this again? Can you do VMAX Climax again and keep people as interested? I think you can. Like I said, Pokemon fans are pretty loyal. They're long-standing. They don't really go anywhere. Maybe they might go quiet for a little bit, but they always come back. Like, they're never truly gone. So that will keep interest for many, many years. But the short term, the people that only came for the short term, that don't have the long-term interest, they'll buzz off. So I think it's peaked, right? Now it's a question of how far we fall and how far it drops, because great reverse to get. That's the Flareon. Because like I said, you can't keep this going forever, right? As long as it doesn't get boring, then it'll be okay in the let's say the medium term. So for the next 2 years, as long as things don't get boring, you won't push away collectors like you and I. We'll stay around, right? But to recapture that magic and get more people interested, right? Then you need to be doing stuff that's fresh and interesting. I think they will do interesting and fresh things through 2022. It's going to be very hard to match it, but I don't want to doubt them, because Creatures and the Pokemon Company International, they have a, are we losing focus? What's happening? It's fighting itself. What was it fighting with? It's fighting. Oh my God, it's fighting. Hang on. Just hang on. It's fighting with itself. Stop, baby. It scuffed video. We shouldn't discount the Pokemon Company and Creatures Inc. They know what they're doing. They've made it as popular as it is for this long and sustained it for this long. 2021 was this amazing. They were constantly, I'm not going to sleep that. They were constantly surprising us. I don't think the interest is going to die off from even the new people that came in, the new collectors that refound their love. They're not going to get shooed away or scared away by anything in particular. And I think Creatures are going to maintain the momentum by keeping things fresh and interesting through 2022. But that is the only way to keep this whole train going, is to keep it as fresh as it's been in 2021. If they do the same thing, but don't do anything different, like they don't introduce anything new and exciting, then yeah, it's going to fall off, but it will come back. And it's just a matter of waiting at that point. If you're a new collector, or this is your first year, like, you need to wait until 2026, the 30th anniversary, because at that point, this whole train will start again. So did it peak? Yeah. But is it going to die? Nah. Anyway, that's the video. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Like, subscribe.